So this year, my husband, daughter, and I decided to embark upon some self gardening, and this is definitely a first for me. And it's been trial and error, and of course we've had to do a lot of research and try to fix the things that we didn't do correctly in the first place. We were a little presumptuous from the beginning, thinking that we knew something that we really didn't know. And so again, yeah, this has been a learning process. And so initially we had some different things like celery and cilantro and peppers, and we had squash, and we had zucchini, cucumbers, and all these kind of things. And we had all of this stuff in the same small box, right? Not really fully understanding that, you need space, you need depth. We didn't think about all this stuff. So, of course, in us trying to, um, in our learning and fixing things, we, expanded the garden, spread things out, you know, went a little deeper. And so, anyway, um, one of the things that has just been, it's just like this stuff will not grow. We've moved it, we've shifted it, and all this kind of stuff, right? Were the cucumbers. And so, anyway, day before yesterday, I went outside and just checked the garden, and was looking to see if I needed to water it as usual. And you know, just typical check. And then yesterday, my husband went out to the garden. He says, "Man, those cucumbers have really grown. They're like this big." And I'm like, "No, I just went out there." Truly, he has to be talking about the banana peppers or something, because the banana peppers have been the only thing that's just really, really just grown a lot. And so I went out there, and these cucumbers are like almost a foot long. And I'm like, I came out to this garden just yesterday. I'm like, what is the deal? And when I thought about that, I was like, oh Lord, I hear what you're trying to tell me. Um, I think I had gotten so used to not expecting, and defeat had set in, that even when I was looking, I could not see what God had produced right before my eyes. And when I thought about that, I was like, man, I got to share this thought, because it just kind of makes me emotional thinking, this season that so many of us are in right now. You know, every season changes. That's one thing that we have to stay mindful of, that seasons change. God created it that way. But when the season goes on for so long and defeat sets in, and we have high hope but very low expectation, we can continue to check for progress, but we're looking, but we're not really seeing. I looked at that garden just a day before, um, and I did not see the growth. And I think that some of us have to apply that same message to life. Um, and that's what the enemy wants us to do, because if I had not, if my husband hadn't brought that to my attention, and I didn't finally see the growth that I didn't see the day before because of my own defeat and low expectations, uh, then there would be no harvest. And I think that we have to understand that in life, the enemy is going to always try to rob us of our expectation. He's going to always try to rob us of the hope that we have in Christ Jesus. And when we look at the situation day after day, season after season, and we don't see any growth, we don't see any producing, uh, it's a strong possibility that we'll continue to look high, have high hopes, low expectations. We'll look day after day, but we won't be expecting any growth. We won't uh, be expecting anything. And so you don't see what you don't expect. And one of the things that I think about is how often we approach God asking for things that we really don't even believe that we will receive. And this to me is the same thing. And God could be blessing us right in front of our faces, and we cannot see. We cannot see. And so I think that's a word for all of us. Um, don't stop expecting. Don't stop looking. But you got to be mindful that you have to see too. Don't stop expecting.